What's up everyone? In today's video I will be going to a float tank. If you're not familiar with float tanks, I'll also be describing the benefits of using something like a float tank, which is basically a sensory deprivation chamber. So stay tuned to this video and we'll get into the use of float tanks. Just outside this float tank center, it is called iFloat Spa, as you can see here. It's actually my first time going to this particular float center, but they are spread out all throughout the world. They're becoming increasingly popular. They've actually been featured on the Joe Rogan Experience, as Joe Rogan is a proponent of the use of float tanks and sensory deprivation tanks. He's actually had one installed in his podcast studio. He has one in his home. Funny story, a little anecdote. I actually sold a domain name, floattanksforsale.com, to Crash, who is the guy that he's one of the innovators of float tanks. He's the guy that actually installed and sold Joe Rogan his float tanks. So random little story that I had actually sold him the domain. But here we're going to get into iFloat Spa Float Tank Center, and I'll explain the benefits of using such things as sensory deprivation chamber. So this is the float tank. I'm going to quickly take you around and show you their setup here. It's pretty cool. They've got like a mirror, and this is the massive new tank they just installed. There is the shower area. So, of course, the lights are pretty dim, but you can tell. Nice setup. Shower is good to go. So this is the float tank itself, and let me zoom out to give you some perspective here. So this tank is about 10 feet long, and I believe about 8 feet tall. So once I actually go inside, you can see it's got quite a bit of space here all the way to the back. That light, I'll turn it off entirely. There's no music playing, but that's optional. But I'll go complete sensory deprivation in the dark with no music. And that just closes up. Otherwise, a nice little bench area there and some nice little feminine products if anyone wants to clean themselves up afterwards. But otherwise, that's the basic tour of it. I'm gonna quickly jump in and then we'll get into the sensory deprivation tank, which also resembles like a cave that a lot of people would have used for meditation and other purposes many, many years back, and even still to this day. So I'm gonna jump in and we'll talk about the benefits as well. Finished up the float session, and I've decided to purchase an 8-pack, which I'll be splitting between myself and my wife Grace. Both of us really appreciate, first of all, iFloat and the owner of iFloat, everything they've done there. They've got some really nice float tanks, and the one that I was using is their larger float tank or sensory deprivation tank, and I'll be using that going forward in the future sessions. Most likely we'll renew that 8-pack as well, and it's probably something that we're going to incorporate into both of our sort of meditation and wellness and self-care routines. The benefits of using float tanks and sensory deprivation chambers is undeniable. It alleviates chronic pain, and there's been several studies that have proven that, from tension headaches to muscular pain. Even if some people have had injuries, there's several benefits in terms of relaxation and alleviation of anxiety, depression. A lot of people have reported actually hallucinating in the float tank itself, and I did experience that to some minor degree. If I actually focus on that aspect of it, I'm sure I could go a lot deeper, but I'll be doing a follow-up video to this one and showing a little bit more in depth on the float tank itself, how it functions. I may even do a quick little interview with the owner of that particular float center. I didn't expand too much on this video because, you know, you only have limited time when you go into the float tank area, so it's a 1-hour booking, and they typically give you about 30 minutes to 45 minutes afterwards to kind of clean up, wash yourself and everything else. But I didn't want to waste my time filming and showing you guys and gals all the different aspects of the float tank. I just wanted this to be a brief introduction video to the concept of floating and share that experience with you all. So hit this video with a thumbs up if you found it informative, entertaining, or if you're considering using a float tank yourself. Also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and make sure you hit the bell icon and stay tuned for any future videos I'll be uploading on this particular topic or any other wellness, health, longevity, and biohacking related topics. Stay tuned for those as well. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in that next one. Take care.